Great performance on Saturday night.
It was an ugly performance, man. But, you know, under the circumstances, I tried to do what I could to finish him. But, you know, Hacran is a tough dude. And, you know, I knew that going into the fight, so I knew it was going to be tough.
You know, if he was a can, then maybe we could be a little harsh in the criticism. But you could tell he was very athletic. He was very strong. He was very fast. So you kind of had to be careful with what kind of offense you put out. At the same time, I mean, he's a pretty tough guy. He's gotten himself a fair share of wins in this sport.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I saw him come out his first fight in the UFC, and he beat a guy who I had lost to in the past, Yuri Alcantara. So I knew he was tough right then, and I knew that going into this fight. And you know, I trained my butt off for him. And unfortunately, I broke my thumb 3 minutes into the fight, and you know, I had to kind of change it up a little bit. So. That was kind of one of the reasons I was lacking on my performance. But, you know, it is what it is, and luckily I have another chance to come back and, you know, make up for that.
What's the toughest part about an injury like that? Is it physically, the fact that you can't grab, the fact that you don't have, you know, maybe as much confidence to throw hands, or is it a mental thing where you start to doubt that it may not be your night, you know, and that you're not 100%, the other guy might be?
No, you know, never at a point in the fight was I doubting myself because of the hand or anything like that. If anything, I was trying to put it out of my head and not even think about it. You know, I knew something was wrong. I just kind of kept looking at it and shaking it off. But when you're in there, you don't have time to think about it or worry about it, man. You just have to keep going. That's it.
You had to make some adjustments in that fight. How different was your game plan going in to what actually played out?
Well, you know, the game plan was to really mix it up and mix up my faking the takedowns and coming in striking and everything like that. And, you know, unfortunately I had to kind of abandon the striking a little more, although I was trying and I was still throwing my right hand at him. You know, even though it was broken, I would have broken it more on his head. But I just had to pressure a little more for the takedown, you know, in the second and third round to kind of, you know, salvage my hand a little more.
Does it even begin to help you get past the title loss? You know, does that still weigh on you at all?
The title loss, you know, that's always going to weigh on me, man. That was like, you know, the opportunity of a lifetime right there that could have changed my entire life. And unfortunately, I let it slip through my fingers. So I'll always think about that. But I think it's, you know, I think about every loss that I've ever had. And, you know, I learn from it. You make the adjustments, you improve, and you move on to the next one.
You versus Nik Lentz, sign me up for that. I would be down.
Luis Palomino, Baboon, was down at AT&T for a while. Sparred with Nik Lentz one time, messed him up, and then Nik Lentz ducked him for the rest of the sparring sessions that he was there. Like, they would not let Baboon spar with him. You know, to me, that shows no heart. You know, when I go up against somebody, if they give me a licking in a sparring session, you bet your ass I'm coming after you the next time. There's no way you're not going to let me spar you again, because I'm going to come after you until I get you. You know, that just shows if you have heart or not. And this kid has no heart.